Nobody pretend to know everything. We just sharing ideas. I'm your host. My name is Cash. I'm here with my co-host.
Slick here.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it. Our first topic: Boots is moving up to 154 pounds from welterweight. Is this a good move? Where do you want to see? Who do you want to see him fight next?
Um, I think it's a good move to move up to 154. Boots think it's a good move to move up to 154. We're just saying the issue with Keyshawn Davis outside of the him dropping the belt, him not making weight, and him saying that it's hard for him to make weight. Um, Maybe that's the issue with Boots at 147. He got a couple straps at 147. Maybe you feel like it's not worth being unified at 147. I can move up to 54, put less strain on my body, and there's some good work there. So I don't disagree with it. I don't agree with it. We have to see what it leads to. If Boots is happy with it, though, be happy to see what comes from it. And as far as opponents, if he's going up to 54, I think he has a chance to get a name under his belt. So I would go ahead. I know people don't like him. I would go ahead and try to get a fight to get this name under my belt. Keith Thurman. If you can't get the Keith Thurman fight, try to go for one of those straps. I think him and Fondura would be a good scrap at 54. If Fondura not looking to fight him, there's other options out there. Lubin, Borchak. It's work at 54 for Boots. It'll be a step up in competition, and I'll be interested to see how he handles that step up in weight and what type of fighting style he brings. We know he has multiple ones. One of the big questions will be though when he gets caught with one of those power punches from a 54-pounder. We want to see how he reacts to that because we know Boots. If you're familiar with boxing, you know Boots takes punches. So see if he makes some tweaks to his game plan moving up to 54. And shit. Shout out to Boots.
For me, Boots moving up to 54, is this a good move? I think so. I think that it's a necessary move at this point. He said that he was only staying at 147 pounds to become undisputed, to keep trying to unify the entire division. He completed his first goal, which was to become a champion. And by beating the champion, he didn't want to just get a belt given to him. So he went out there and beat Stanionis and took a belt off of somebody, became unified. But then he wasn't able to make the fight with Barrios or with Brian Norman. I think it's unfortunate, honestly. The young man basically said, like, this is what my goals is. This is what I want to do. And they made it hard on him. For Barrios, you getting a chance to fight Pacquiao. You getting a chance to fight a legend. I don't care for the fight, but if I was in his shoes, I'm not saying no to that fight. Brian Norman, on the other hand, I don't really understand or know what he's doing. He fought a week after Boots and then went right into another fight against this Sasaki guy. That don't make sense to me. I guarantee you, I've never heard Brian Norman or his pops talk about what they want to do at welterweight. Maybe I've heard them say, honestly, I've never heard them say that they interested in unifying or becoming undisputed. Even after his last fight, he said, I'm not waiting for nobody. Not waiting for nobody for what? Like, you got all these big fights lined up and you're not going to wait to negotiate with somebody or whatever. Like, you ain't got a bunch of shit lined up. You fight a nomad. And they literally fighting in a really small arena. It's not even an arena. The place he fighting at seats like 5,000 people. That's nothing. Like, you going to fight this guy and you had the opportunity to unify with a champion. So I don't really understand what he's doing, but for Boots, it kind of throws off what you was trying to do.
His ass trying to sell them little ass tickets at the Regal. That nigga trying to fight at the Regal Theater. Fuck wrong with him.
Going over there to China, fighting him and what'll be crazy is if he lose. I don't expect him to lose, but it'd be crazy if he lose. But what I got a funny suspicion that him and his pops after this fight are gonna start saying we want to become undisputed at 47. I guarantee you that's their next step. Now that they feel like Boots out the way, all of a sudden their goals change and now they want to become undisputed. They gonna go for the other two belts, and go for the winner of the Pacquiao and Mario Barrios fight. It's weak. So for Boots, yeah, I think since you couldn't get what you wanted, um, he wasn't trying to make 47 again if it wasn't for belts. Even though I would have loved to see him punch on Tio, he said, I'm only going to sacrifice if I could win the championship. So I respect that. And I respect him standing on what he said because he has been kind of all around at a point in his career. It was a point where he said, I'm looking to get all of the big fights. And it's kind of rolling to that second question. Who do you want to see him fight next? Virgil Ortiz offered him a fight. Boots turned it down because he said, I'm trying to unify and become undisputed at 47. That's not exactly what he said at first. He did change it. I'm not going to hold him to it, but I'm going to be honest about what happened. He wasn't consistent with what he said. So for all of the trolls who like, oh, he ducking him, da-da-da-da-da, he gave them credence to say that. He gave him the ability to say that he ducking him because he did change what he said. If I'm not mistaken, he's the WBA and the IBF champion. WBA is Bakram Montezali. And then the IBF is Terrence Crawford. If Boots really want me to believe that he is who he say he might not care. I mean, if you want the fans to believe, the fans outside of the East Coast and Philly, because on the East Coast they swear by Boots. They swear he the best thing since sliced bread. And to me, it's not that I'm saying that he not. It's just that that's like hearing somebody brother say, "My brother is the best fighter in the world." What you supposed to say? Know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe you actually see him in the gym whooping ass all the time, so you feel like he's that. But for boxing fans that's not on the East Coast, it kind of rub you the wrong way because all you hear is this guy's this guy is that. But he don't got the resume to prove it. He got a couple accomplishments, a belt that was given to him, and a belt that he took off of a guy that it was given to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, Stanionis didn't beat nobody to get his belt neither. So he beat a guy that had a belt that he never won in the ring, and then he got another belt that he never won in the ring. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for him to fight somebody for real. I'm hoping he don't go the IBF way. If he go the IBF way, he gets a chance at fighting some no names. They got Terrence Crawford. TC is not going back to 54. If he was to fight TC, I'd be cool with that. That'd be a great fight if that's what was going to happen. But I highly doubt that's what happens if he goes the IBF way. He's going to end up fighting a bunch of no names. I looked at their rankings. It's a bunch of dudes that I've never really heard of. No disrespect to them guys. They might be some good fighters, but like I said, no names, unproven guys. The WBA, it got a real guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bakram actually beat Tim Tszyu. Once you win a belt, you cannot force champions to unify with you. Y'all have to negotiate, and they have to be willing to. Just like the issue with Brian Norman. But if you go up there and you beat one of these champions that's already good, at least they'll force the fight. If you say WBA, I was the champion at 47, I'm moving up to 54. I want to fight the guy there. You'll become his mandatory. You can force the fight against a real good fighter. That's what I want to see from Boots. I don't want to see him take the IBF way and just get a belt. When you fight another guy who's not a champion for a belt that's up in the air, an interim belt, and then Terrence Crawford got to drop the belt after he campaigned at 68. That's not what I want to see. So And if he don't go that route, maybe he go and try to fight somebody else. You say you want Duck and Virgil, make that next. You jumping up there to 54, he right there. Know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
hear
make that
you.
next.
I hear you. The belt's gonna always be there for him to get. Go on to get that name under your belt, dog. Go on to get that Hall of Famer, man. Chase him first. The big fights, the smoke at 54 ain't going nowhere.
I ain't mad at the Keith Thurman thing. It's Keith Thurman. Like,
Hall of Fame fighter. You just can't say it
so
like
it's
it's a
Manny
slight.
Pacquiao. So it's Manny
Huh?
Pacquiao.
Exactly. And Keith
If
Thurman
Barrios
got that
beat him,
win.
I'm not treating it like you beat Manny Pacquiao.
You say what?
If Barrios beats Manny Pacquiao, he's not getting respect from me like he beat the Manny Pacquiao.
Right. If Boots was to beat Thurman, he's gonna get full credit for beating the Hall of Famer. Thurman coming off a win. He's relevant.
That's your opinion. I ain't mad at your opinion. I'm saying for me, you're not gonna get. I don't feel like that's Keith one time Thurman. That's Keith once upon a time Thurman.
He
That's
coming off a dub.
every once in a while being in the ring. Who he beat? Joey Spencer?
I mean, he ain't lose.
I'm saying like I'm not it might sound like I am. It's not that I'm diminishing Keith Thurman. I'm saying Keith Thurman is inactive. He's not a true 54 pounder. He's had one fight at 54, and when she fought Joey Spencer, who is not a big name, he's never beat anybody like relevant for us to be like, oh, look who Keith Thurman just beat. He's not ranked in the top 10 in almost any of the sanctioned bodies. That's not a fight that, like, if it happens, people will want to see it for the name recognition, but those not the guys. That's not a fight that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saying that you want to see it, more power to you. I'd rather see him fight Virgil, Fondora, Madronov. I would respect that more. Muratayev, Boachuk, Tim Tszyu, Lubin.
I think you misconstruing what I'm saying. That's not the fight I want to see. But if that's the fight that's made, I wouldn't be shocked. Like this day and age with these boxers, they're looking at the changing of the guard and they look for those type of names. Like you saying that if that's not the version of who he is, some could say that's not the version of who Lomachenko was when Devin Haney beat him. We would never know because we haven't seen Loma since the Devin Haney fight.
I agree.
So we don't,
Devin,
you know,
he's fought a couple times since that Devin fight. But I agree though. I agree. That wasn't the Lomachenko that was like super special.
For sure. Point being made is younger fighters will hunt those type of fights to have that name on their resume. That's not the fight I want to see, but if it was a fight to be made, I would be happy for Boots.
The question was who do you want to see him fight next?
I would want to see him fight for a belt. Because like you say, the opportunity is there with him being a champion at 147. He can automatically move up and ask for a title shot with his respective company that what he got? He got the WBN or what?
IBF.
Right. So with those sanctioned bodies, he can move up and get a title fight in either one of those divisions. But the thing is with 54, those fights not going nowhere. Those guys are going to be there. That's why I posed if Keith Thurman, if that fight was to happen, I wouldn't be shocked, and it would be something to watch. But the smoke at 154, like I said, that smoke not going nowhere. It's going to be there.
That's a fact. You moving from one of the weakest divisions in boxing to one of, if not the strongest division in boxing. I agree with that. And it's a bunch of good fights there. I agree with that. But the thing is, what Boots just went through at 47 was, I can't force the champions to fight me. Okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and, while you have the opportunity, because you're just moving to 54, they're going to rank you in these top 10 in all of the sanctioning bodies. Force the fight against a champion. Instead of going the IBF route where you end up fighting Jesus Ramos, who don't got a belt, but he's number 2 for the IBF. Then you beat him, you become the IBF champion. Now you can't get the other champions to fight you.
No,
whether it's because of negotiation or whatever it is, you can't get the other champions to fight you. And now it's the same old story. these guys don't want to fight me. You can
I'm
make them
with you.
fight you.
I'm with you, but I guarantee you, he's not fighting Baccarat. He ain't doing that. He's not doing that. I can tell you that right now. That's not a tree he's looking to bark up.
Why not?
Not for his first fight at 54. No, he's not doing that, Jay. He's not doing that.
All I hear is Boots of Super Saiyan, though. That's all I hear.
That's cool. I'm with you. I'm with you. But for me and you both knowing boxing, if that was the case, when Bud was at 54, he would have forced a fight with Baccarat to get one of them belts to try to fight Bud for undisputed. He not fighting Baccarat, G. That fight not happening. Not his first fight at 54. I can tell you that.
What about Fondora and Tim Zoo? What if you fight the winner of them?
I would love to see. I said Fondora. I said Fondora. I would love to see him fight Fondora.
But
I think that'd be a good.
It happening though. I would love that too. I just don't see it happening. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna say nothing until it happens. But once it happens, I already said what I think is going to happen. What I think is going to happen is they're going to go the easiest route. And hopefully, all right, let's say everything work out. You go the IBF route. You fight a dude that's not a champion again to become a champion. Okay, then you get the belt. Now you can't force no fights. It ain't gonna be no easy fights in there, no way. So maybe you end up fighting some good smoke coming up or whatever. All right, cool. I think Baccarat, Lubin is mandatory, and I want to see Lubin get that shot. So I ain't mad at it. But for Boots, if you are who you say you are, I want to see you really, really go chase this stuff. At 47, it wasn't no smoke for you. So it's like, I wasn't really, I mean, I don't try to rain on nobody parade. If those your goals, those your goals. You say, I want to become undisputed at 47, who am I to tell you not to? However, there wasn't a bunch of good fighters at 47. So you become undisputed. I'm not raining on your parade, but it's like, you're not going to get a bunch of respect, the respect that you deserve for becoming an undisputed fighter. You're not going to get that at that division. Just like Terrence Crawford didn't get that at 40. When Terrence Crawford became undisputed at 40, people just act like, so what? Like, who did he beat? It ain't no good fighters at 40. Once he became undisputed at 47, now it's like, all right, you get full credit. You get full respect because 47 a deep-ass division, and you beat the guy that everybody said was the guy.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. For those same reasons, it ain't, you just not moving up to 54 and fighting those guys at 54 like that. He got to tread lightly, man. Like, even with his talent, 54 is just a different type of species. You got megalodons out there in that water, boy. He don't know nothing about that at 47. It's real shit down there below that sea level, boy. Straight up. He better go on it. He better follow him.
All the way down in the top 20 is real shit.
That's what I'm saying. He better follow Bud footsteps and go fight Madronov, G. Straight up.
It's real shit. I'm finna look at it now. They got Keith Thurman 17th.
You feel me?
Liam Smith at 20th. That's a good fight. Tony Harrison, I don't know if he fight no more. They got Brian Castano at 16. That's a good fight. Brian Mendoza, that dude that knocked Fondora out. Xander Zayas at 13. Charles Conwell at
yeah, that's one of the deepest divisions of boxing.
Probably the.
Yeah, for sure.
It's some smoke.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever Boots do, I'm not gonna come down on him. I do think that people who dislike him, they don't have a real reason to dislike him, for real. I think that fans make people not like them. Like, especially the Philly fans. Like, they make people dislike Boots because they talk about him like he's already achieved these things. It's like, we see the talent with our eyes, but he ain't done it yet. So it's like, but I never do that. I never reject the fighter because of what people are saying. Like, the fighter not saying that. Boots thinks he's the best in the world. I want him to just go out there and prove it. And he possibly could be. I really think that he possibly could be.
For sure. We looking forward to see what you do, Boots.
For sure. All right, for our next topic. Richardson Hitchins stops Cam Bosa's with a body shot Where do you rank him at 140? That was his first title defense. He was able to retain his title. Where do you rank him in a 140-pound division? And then a bonus question: who do you want to see him fight next?
Well, fuck you, T.O., for all your antics. I know you rank number one, but you not. You not. Hitchins is one. He knocked out the nigga that fucked you up and took your belts. Straight up.
That was at a different division.
Don't matter. I don't care.
He ain't knocked him out neither.
I don't care. He fucked him up. He got fucked. It don't matter what division it is. George Kambosos still got the name George Kambosos.
That shit is insane that Teo lost to this nigga.
Don't worry about it. That's for all that bullshit he doing right now. Richard Hitchins, number one at 140 over T.O. Follow-up question. That's the fight that I want to see next, but it's not going to happen. T.O. going to find every reason in the world to not make the fight happen because he know he's not number one in the division. But as long as that is on paper, that's that, he going to try to uphold that and keep that for as long as he can. But you can't duck the people, man. We know what's going on. You don't want to see no parts of Richardson. Straight up. He's number one. That's the fight that I want to see. And I want to see what type of smoke T.O. going to bring and bullshit to avoid this fight from happening.
Why he don't want to see no part of Hitchins?
Anybody that's a threat to T.O., bro, he played a passive-aggressive role. Like, he want to do something, but when it's on the table to do something, he going to tuck his tail. That's the type of individual he is. Look at all the fights that he could have possibly had in these past couple of years that turned out to be nothing. When it's real fire, he don't want to get into the muddy waters, man. So we gonna see, because this will be the perfect opponent for him. What you thinking?
I'm gonna touch on the Kambosos fight real quick. Hitchins looked super sharp in that fight. As good as Richardson and Hitchins looked in that fight, is as bad as Kambosos looked. When Kambosos got on the scale, I thought this is a 35-pounder trying to campaign at 40. He don't look no bigger. He don't look no stronger. Come fight night after he rehydrated, same shit. He didn't look no bigger. I didn't see no definition. Kambosos is just getting check after check after check. Shout out to him and his management team because they made this boy rich from just talking up. Like, he truly cashed in after that Teo fight. That fight was ass. Richardson Hitchins never had to go to something else. He went to something else to get him out the way. He could have won with the jab. I'm going to give him credit because Devin beat Kambosos 2 times with just using the jab. Hitchins started dropping that straight right. That was landing whenever he wanted to. And then he finally started coming with that hook to the body. So he went jab, steady jab, and he could never miss with the jab. Landed over 50% of his jabs. Then he finally started landing the 2. Boom. Can't miss with that neither. Then he's like, all right, fuck it. Let me go ahead and try to get him out of here. I want to give him credit for that. For a guy who only got 7 knockouts, he didn't have to press the gas. And we've seen other guys. The one that most recently come to mind is Teo against Barboza. Not step on the gas, just like I'm winning the fight. Fuck it, I'm going to win the fight. He stepped on the gas and got the stoppage. He did what he was supposed to do. He didn't play with his food. He ate that whole plate, got it out the way. Really nice performance from Richardson. Really horrible performance from Kambosos. I'm good if I never see him again. If you want to fight one more fight in Australia and then ride into the sunset, I'm okay with that too. But I just don't understand how he keep getting played out the plate that he don't deserve. As far as where does Hitchins rank at 140? As much as I don't like Teo is number 1 for me. All of the other guys that I would consider better than him around those divisions just don't fight at 40. They either fight at 35 or they fight at 44, 47, whatever. Teo in the ring is a really good fighter. He has his limitations just like every other boxer in the world. But he's a good fighter. And it seems like when the level of competition really steps up or the name is a big enough name, he really prepares to show out. With him beating the man, I got to give him the credit. He beat Josh Taylor. He's the lineal champion. The Barbosa performance was impressive, even though if you're being critical, you can say, well, he should have finished this fool. Hitchins, he don't, I mean, aside from this performance, which I look at as a C- opponent, he don't really have a great performance. He beat Liam Paro. That wasn't a great performance for me. It was a bunch of jabbing, and I had the fight close. I had Hitchins winning, but I thought the fight was closer than a lot of people said that it was. Honestly, I would put Palo above him. Palo got a win against Gary Antoine Russell. I think that's a better win than anything Richardson Hitchins got on his record. And he's about to fight Matias, the guy that Hitchins ducked. I don't even throw that word around a lot because I respect fighters too much. They get in. These are modern day gladiators. They get in the ring for our entertainment. I really don't disrespect fighters like that unless I know for sure it's a clear duck. And it was a clear duck. When Matias had the belt, Richardson Hitchins said, I don't like the IBF. They got the rehydration clause. I don't want to go the IBF way. At the moment Liam Paro beat Matias, he signs up to fight Liam Paro. I thought you didn't like the IBF. You immediately go get that strap on his Matias and don't got it no more. That's weak to me. What do I think about Richardson Hitchins? I think that he is a belt holder. I don't think that he is a true champion. He beat a guy that had the belt. He beat a guy that beat the guy that he didn't want to fight. Styles make fights. He can disprove what I'm saying. He could go out there and fight a Teofimo. He could go out there and sign up for Puello after that fight. He could go out there and fight Gary Antoine. Like, go out there and fight one of the champions, unify, and I give you the respect that you feel you deserve. But until then, I look at him like, you're just holding a belt. But, I mean, you are technically a world champion, but I don't look at you like the guy at 140. I will put Gary Antoine over him. I'll put Puello over him. I'll put Teofimo over him. Honestly, I think Frank Martin will beat him. Frank Martin just moved up to 40. I think Frank Martin will beat him. Hitchins got to show me more. He got to show me more. That Cambosa's fight was cool, but he got to show me more.
We're going to see what he do. We're going to see if he try to unify the division.
Yeah, for sure. All right. For our next topic. Lomachenko retires from boxing. What are your thoughts on his career? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can kick it off.
All right, for sure. For Loma, I think that he's unfairly judged. I think Lomachenko is one of the better fighters of this generation. One of the better fighters of this generation. Unfortunately, and I think that is going to change, but unfortunately, right now, the Hall of Fame doesn't take they don't take into consideration your amateur career because people that came before just fought amateur enough until they felt like they was ready. Then they jumped into the pros so they could start making money. But now a lot of people coming from Russia, from Eastern Europe, from Cuba, even from America are having phenomenal amateur records jumping into the pros. And I think that it should be considered if you have 200, 300, 400 fights as an amateur. I do think that should be considered as part of your Hall of Fame career. Because what's happening with these guys is they're jumping into the pros and they're immediately fighting the best competition. Lomachenko fought for a belt in his second fight. You know, he got 17 wins and 3 losses, I believe. For a guy who had 400 plus amateur fights, jumped into the pros. When you look up and down his record, uh, Jose Luis Ramirez, he fought Roman Martinez when nobody wanted to fight him. Nicholas Axeman Waters when he was undefeated. Jason Sosa, Miguel, Mariaga, Guillermo Rigondeaux when nobody wanted to fight Rigondeaux. Those guys that I just Gary Antoine Russell, I don't know how I went over him, 24-0. Those guys I just named had a combined record of 122-5. Murder's Row. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when people start calling him Nomas Matinko. When he was making people quit on their stool. He had 5 straight fighters retire. To me, that's a Hall of Fame career. I got a lot of respect for Lomachenko, and even for him to say, I've conquered 130 pounds, I'm going to move up to 35, and I'm not truly a 35-pounder. And he tried to fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Teofimo fight, I had Loma winning. I don't think it was a robbery. It was a super close fight. People who got Teo winning, that's cool. But he's fighting guys that's much bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? Devin is about to go to 47. Teo was just trying to go to 47. You know, like, he was never a 135-pounder. He went and fought at 135 pounds to challenge himself. I got a lot of respect for Lomachenko. I think he's one of the better fighters. I'm going to leave on this point. I do not hold people accountable for things that people say about them. I hear a lot of, I hate the racial component of boxing in general, but I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I don't fuck with Loma because they said he was better than Ali. They said he was better than Floyd. Lomachenko never said none of these things. It don't matter what his promoters said. They supposed to say whatever. They trying to sell their fighter.
Even if he did, so what? Shit, I'm supposed to think I'm better than these guys.
But he never did. He never said that.
Right, no, I'm just saying if he did, so be it.
I'm saying then people can hold it against him. Then people can say, you said you was better than Floyd and you're not. Okay, cool. But for his promoters to say that and he never talked like that, all he's ever done is try to fight champions. That's all he's ever done. Try to fight champions. So I got a lot of respect for Lomachenko. I think he's one, like I said, one of the better fighters of this generation. And kudos to him on his career.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up. Phenomenal amateur career, came into the game, fast-tracked. However, to that point, I would say that's kind of due to his style and how Scotty always says attack on black boxers. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a color issue, but a particular fighting style. Lomachenko kind of fits that bill. So I think that's why his career was fast-tracked as to the reason how he got the title fight on his second fight. But he still put the work in. Those names that you named, those were real opponents. He did beat those guys. But I'm just going to say he had an opportunity that wouldn't have been given to most. But he took full advantage of it. Kudos to him. Hell of a boxer, hell of a career. The amount of fights that he had for us to even be speaking of Hall of Fame is crazy within itself. You know, I love guys that fight bigger opponents, and majority of his fights, like you said, he fought bigger opponents, outshined the bigger opponents, outboxed them, outclassed them. So he's definitely well deserving of all the flowers that he's going to receive on his retirement. And we're looking to see what he does in his post retirement. I would have loved to see him get in the ring with Stevenson, with Tank. Unfortunately, those fights couldn't happen. And maybe it was for the better. Maybe he knew it was a slippage and it was coming to an end and he wanted to go out the right way. So shout out you, Loma. Phenomenal career. You did have some help. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Loma.
My only pushback is he got opportunities that other people wouldn't have got. He did things that other people didn't do. I can't name another 2-time Olympian that came into the pros, period. But they came into the pros and tried to get a title shot or 400 plus amateur fights. I can't name nobody. You know, so it's like to sit here and say he got opportunities other people didn't get. If I'm the valedictorian at the best school in the world, I do expect to get a job offer that nobody else is gonna get. because I've earned it. It wasn't just given to me. I literally earned it. I was a 2-time Olympian. I had 400 amateur fights. I can't remember exactly how many he lost. I know it was less than double digits. And he jumped right into it looking for a title fight. When you look at somebody like Andy Cruz, who's at 35, he's fighting a really, really tough schedule of opponents. But he didn't ask for no title fight coming right out the Olympics. Keyshawn Davis didn't ask for no title fight coming right out the Olympics.
I don't think Loma asked for it either. I think they approached him.
Loma tried to get the first fight as a championship. He tried to have his first fight fighting a champion, and they said, "No, you got to at least fight somebody." His second fight was Salido, who was the champion, and he showed him that there's a difference between pros and amateurs. He did a bunch of dirty shit, a bunch of holding, low blows, hitting behind the head. He did a bunch of shit, but like that was the growing curve, and he had to go through that. But kudos to him for even attempting to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys. It's easy to sit here and say, and it's like we arguing about ghosts and skeletons. Who is the guy that did what Loma did and then came into that same spot and asked for it and was denied? Nobody.
I mean, also, people really don't have that many amateur fights the way that Loma did. So, I mean, he really kind of like the anomaly.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, he was given something he didn't deserve.
What Julio Chavez do? Because I know he had a lot of amateur fights and he had a lot of regular fights. When was his first title opportunity?
He was young, but that was a different time. A bunch of dudes was fighting, getting title shots at 20, 21, 22. That don't happen a lot now. Tank got a title shot at 22. Benavidez got a shot at 22. But even with them guys, they fought 10, 12, 15 guys that was like nobodies. These dudes with these records, they're fighting real fighters out the gate. They're not fighting people that's 0-7 or 3-16. They're not getting these fights. You know what I'm saying? Loma got 20 fights in his career. I believe he should be a Hall of Famer. A 3-weight division champion. I believe he should be a Hall of Famer, a unified champion. And he beat 6 undefeated fighters. He beat more than that, but in that span of them fighters that I named, he beat 6 undefeated fighters.
I ain't got no drawback with that. I'm in agreement with you. He's definitely a Hall of Fame fighter, but I feel like he also had a lot of help. A lot of help.
He did. They promoted him well, but I don't hold that against him. Promoters supposed to promote all their fighters like that.
For sure.
Terence Crawford should have got promoted like Lomachenko got promoted. They dropped the ball. I can't hold that against Loma. I just got to say y'all got to do better with y'all other fighters.
For sure.
All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and pivot a couple NBA topics. We're going to start with Tyrese Halliburton. I believe it's a grade 3 calf sprain. He's doubtful to play. Tomorrow is game 6. The series is 3-2 OKC. Should Halliburton play tomorrow with his calf injury?
I don't even think that's a question. For sure, he should play, even if he's not giving his team what we think he should be giving them. He's a threat on that court. It's an extra man that OKC has to worry about, and it's a game where if they lose, motherfuckers ain't got shit to do. They going to the crib. He most definitely has to play. Has to give somewhat of a performance, uplift the team, big moment plays, something. He definitely has to be on the court. If this was any other basketball player in a win or go home situation, we wouldn't even be asking whether they should play or not. For sure, he should be suited and booted, and I don't doubt that he would play tomorrow.
For me, I see it the other way. I picked OKC. If Halliburton was 1,000% healthy, I picked OKC when he was 1,000% healthy. It has nothing to do with my pick. This is all about one of my favorite players, Kevin Durant. Had a calf injury. People say, oh, well, it wasn't that serious. KD missed 30, 40 games due to his calf injury. We don't know how serious Halliburton's calf injury is. We don't know if this happened in the regular season, if he would have missed 30 or 40 games. To sit here and say, oh, it's not connected to anything else, he can go ahead and play, and there's no major risk of him injuring something else. That's literally what they said about Kevin Durant. And then he missed a whole damn near 2 years. He missed the whole season and some change, rehabbing his Achilles. That's the last thing I want to see for him. I don't want to see him injure himself more. It's not my call to make, but if there's any threat, and based on precedence that has been set, there's a threat that he can injure more than just his calf. Maybe he could tear his calf. Maybe it don't turn into. I'm not trying to put this energy into the atmosphere that this will happen to him or nothing. It's just we've seen this already happen before, and to sit here and say, "Oh, well, this game is so important. His career is so important." You know, like maybe he never makes it to the finals again. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it ain't my call. So what I'm gonna say is, if he sit out, I don't blame him at all. Not an iota. Not the smallest bit. I don't blame him at all if he decides to sit this game out. Because his career will keep going on. It's one game. It's a big, huge, important game, but it's one game. And it's unfortunate, but I don't want to see anything. I've seen this play out before. I've seen how this has happened before. So to sit here and say, "Oh, there's no threat and all of this," like they literally said all of this shit about KD going into that Toronto game. KD literally was running up and down. He couldn't move left and right. He had no lateral movement, nothing. And then he goes and pops his Achilles. That's not what I want to see out of Halliburton. So I do think that he should sit it out. I think he should sit it out. If his team is able to fight through it and get them to a game 7, and he have 5 or 6 games off or 6 days off, and he feels better then, maybe he could give a go at it. But I wouldn't risk it if I was him.
Let me tell you something, Halliburton. If you don't go out there and pop your shit, we gonna beat your ass. We gonna pop it for you. On God, if you think you not finna play in this game where it's a win or go home situation, trying to preserve your NBA future, you're not gonna have one because we fucking you up in the locker room. Straight up. This your career was trying to make it to the NBA Finals. You might not get back here. You better get on that court, tear, do whatever. If a bone come out your knee, I want to see that shit on national television. Oh yeah, Hali a real one. He one of the guys. Folks went out there, popped this whole shit. It got to be one of them. Straight up. If you ain't doing that, we gonna do it for you. So, however do you want it? Straight up. You make the decision. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Something wrong with you.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hali, do not listen to this nigga, man. Do the decision that's best for your career, man. This is not Sparta. What they talking about? You got your whole career left. You know what I'm saying? You can go into this summer, heal up. Sign you got another max deal out there. You got another. You got most favorite player to ever play basketball, the youngest MVP ever, ended his career with an injury. He came back and played some more and did good things, but he was never himself again. I don't want to see this happen for you. And everybody act like, it might not even be an Achilles, but people act like because of sports medicine, athletes just can come back and be better. That's not always the case. I don't want that for you, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. Put yourself first. Straight up. Y'all ain't gonna win this motherfucker. No way.
All right, we gonna see.
Y'all ain't gonna win this motherfucker. No way.
Hali, if you ain't on that court, niggas gonna get up with you. Just know that.
We see how you hooping off the court out there in Indiana. Go ahead.
And you out there somewhere in the Indianapolis area. Hey, them niggas gonna get up with you, bro.
Hey,
straight up. Tread lightly.
I see how you hooping off the court, my boy. Salute. Keep doing your thing.
Tread lightly, boy. Straight up. You better go out there and get niggas 0, 0, and 0 before you sit down. Niggas will get up with you out there, boy. Straight up. They gonna show you how to dribble a basketball if you don't play tomorrow.
How far is Indy from Gary?
2 hours.
Oh yeah, you cool. You cool, shorty. Ain't nobody.
I ain't gonna be the one to get up with him.
You cool. Ain't nobody on
shit. You ain't got to worry about me.
Ain't nobody on shit. Only motherfuckers who will do something from Gary. You cool.
He'll lie. Them niggas that made that Indiana video, they from out there. The motherfuckers that made that Indiana video doing the little dance moves, they live out there, Hali.
Nah,
be careful.
Boy. Everybody on 520 said we don't know them niggas. We don't do that.
All right. Jeff Teague stayed in the crib, man. The only motherfucker on that show that I respect is the nigga with the black ones, man. Straight up. Shout out 520. We just talking shit.
All them niggas said that is not no Indiana shit. Them niggas from the outskirts. and you better watch your mouth. Motherfuckers invited you in their house. You better be cool, shorty.
Man, look.
You a guest. You better act like it.
Straight up, Hali. Whatever decision you make, man, that's the one that's best for you, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, for our next topic. LeBron and Steve Nash are currently they're doing a podcast. LeBron was on there and said basically the reign culture conversation has become so important. Or like, when did this happen? When did this become a thing? Do you think we put too much emphasis on winning championships?
I wish his ass would just shut up. Like, Bron, I fuck with you heavy, but just shut up. You always making these little nuances because you know you can't catch certain shit, and it's cool. Just accept who you are. Never heard any basketball player that ever competed in the NBA that was actually one of those guys that was able to have one of these conversations that y'all have say that the rings don't matter. It may not be the all-out end-all to define an NBA career, but it definitely plays a portion into the talk. Like Magic, Bird, Mike, Isaiah, Hakeem, like you just name it. Like if you one of those guys, you gotta have you a chip. And if you are one of those guys and you don't have a chip, you have to dominate your position for the majority of the career for it to be even in that conversation. Like Barkley gets scrutinized on TV, but he was one of them boys. And he don't got a chip, but he was one of them boys. Top of this position every season. And he strived for a chip. He got there. He just happened to run into Michael. So to say that the rings don't matter is crazy. Like, I know a lot of people don't consider the basketball days when Bill Russell was winning chips. But I'm going to piggyback off somebody else that was in the league during that time that had to go against this guy. You think Will Chamberlain would ever say that a ring didn't matter? He trying to beat these motherfuckers every time he go against them because he know they loaded. And he the only guy that has a chance at even doing anything. You think he going to say a ring don't matter? You say what?
What about Jerry West?
You feel me? Come on, man. Like, you think they finna say a ring don't matter? Stop it, Bron.
All them times he lost in the finals.
Stop it, Bron. Like, you know, you all people know better than that. And what you doing with Steve Nash anyway? You trying to backdoor JJ? What you got going on? Because the last nigga we seen you parting with, he was the coach. You trying to backdoor JJ? Fool actually straight. Don't backdoor him. Stop that shit, Bron. You know them chips matter. Goof ass could have had you another one if y'all didn't get rid of AD. But that's neither here nor there. What you got?
It's one of them conversations where it's like exactly what you said. Like, do you hear people that got championships saying this? When I think about it, you hear a lot of people that got a lot of money, and they'll say money don't buy you happiness. Like, as rich as I am, you see people commit suicide that's rich. You hear them literally say, like, with all this money, like, it don't buy me happiness. It give me, like, options. It give me the ability to change my surroundings and do a lot of things and resources, but it don't make me happy. All these people who got championships, I feel like it'll be somebody that come out and be like, man, these championships don't mean nothing. The only people I ever hear saying that is people who didn't win championships. That's it. The Gilbert Arenases of the world. The people who didn't do it, those are the ones who say it. And I feel like it's an easy cop-out. LeBron is constantly, always trying to defend his legacy. And he's on a show talking to somebody who never won a championship, who's a top 75 great player, a two-time MVP, by all accounts, one of the greatest point guards to ever play basketball, never won a championship. So he's literally in our community what we call preaching to the choir. He like, oh, I got somebody in the congregation. Let me go ahead and hype him up. Them rings don't matter. You great without it. Bron, you fell short, my boy. That's it. That's all. Hey, it's nothing wrong with being the second or third best player to ever play basketball. There's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with that. But that's where you at, my boy. Like, and we can keep moving the goalpost as much as you want to. Every year you can create some new criteria for why you should be the greatest player or why you should be acknowledged as such. But at the end of the day, the only people who opinion matter on this situation is people who saw you and Mike play. If you 20 years old, you 24, 25, and you never seen the other guy play, your opinion don't mean nothing. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear it, but it don't. Because you really didn't see it. You didn't live it. 20 years from now, I'm going to tell my kids how cold Lil Isaiah was. Not Big Z or the other Z. Lil 5'8", 5'9" Isaiah Thomas. I'm going to tell them how cold he was. And they're going to be like, I mean, he was cool. I'm going to be like, y'all have no idea. It's the same thing that happened with Iverson nowadays. Know what I'm saying? Like, people reverse engineer arguments. They forget what happened or they didn't live when it happened. So they sit here and look at numbers and they make their opinion. And that's cool. That's cool. Because that's all it is. It's an opinion. If it's an educated, if you got some facts behind what you're saying, I could listen to you. But I know what's what. LeBron, you only saying this because you changed the goal. And now you want everybody else to follow suit. The goal was 6 rings. You lost all them finals. You went to the finals all them times and lost. Everybody talk about all them times. Oh, he went to the finals all them. But you lost. You literally had a team that was good enough to win a championship and you lost. Whether you was the favorites or the underdogs. You know what I'm saying? And like that Miami team, you went 2-2. I think that is the biggest indictment on your career. The Miami years. Yeah, you had some great numbers. That Dallas final and the fact that you went 2-2 with that type of talent around you, I hear people all the time talk crazy about D-Wade. They have no idea what basketball is. I'm just going to keep it real. They have no idea what basketball is. Anybody in D-Wade wasn't this, he wasn't that, you wasn't old enough, clearly. Going into that year, it was Kobe, LeBron, D-Wade, in that order. And anybody could have argued any of them for being the best player in the world. And they had a strong argument. And 2 and 3 winning teamed up and lost. KD went right to Golden State and got it popping. KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, right to Boston, got it popping. You did the super team thing and didn't even do what they did. That's my issue. That's my issue. You're trying to move the goalposts, and we just know what it is. We just know what it is. Let Robert Horry come out and say rings don't matter.
Straight up.
It'll hold more credit to me. But until one of these guys come out that won them and say they don't matter, you sound like a second place guy.
Even the guys that ain't win the ring, they ain't never say winning the ring don't matter. No bullshit. Like Charles Barkley ain't ever said winning the ring don't matter. Every time Shaq get on that, I got five. I got five, Chuck. Chuck, shut the fuck up. Even if he was right, he shut the fuck up immediately, bro. You hear me? That shit hold weight.
And like you said, it's a bunch of great players that never won. It don't make them less great.
Yeah.
But the super, super, super great, they found a way, G. Look at Dirk.
For sure.
And whether it's circumstances, you could say with KG, Ray Allen, whatever. You could say that, but they found a way, bro. They found a way. And Bron, it's not about, I got stuck in this circumstance where I couldn't win. Outside of that first year that you took that Ilgauskas and them team to the finals, every other team had a chance. Y'all just fell short. But y'all had a chance. Straight up.
For sure.
All right. Going into the next topic. This is our final topic. Michael Jordan will be a contributor on NBC next year. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it's great for basketball, especially for a generation that's not familiar with Michael Jordan, may not be familiar with who he is outside of his Nike brand. Giving insight and knowledge that he has, I think is going to be huge for our current generation that we come from, and for the younger generation to get insight on the great basketball man. I know some might say that Mike just doing it to do it, but I truly believe Mike wants to do this because he wouldn't be doing anything if he didn't want to do it, especially some of this stature, like announcing basketball games or being a part of NBA coverage. Like, he truly has to want to do this. So I feel like we'll get the best version of him from doing this. And it's just going to be interesting to hear his insight on things. I'm not familiar if you guys remember when Kobe was around his height in the Lakers, they did a documentary where they went around and filmed Kobe and the team for a duration of a period of time, and he was just talking through the games. Now that you see down the line now, you have more people doing that, like Eli Manning breaking down football games. It don't have to necessarily be a live coverage game. He might take a game, break it down, everything that he's seeing. So I think it'd be interesting to see Michael Jordan do these type of things and to hear insight and possibly get some great stories that we haven't already heard.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. That's exactly it. I think that for Mike, what's the line from Hove? Love, I can't get enough of it. I think it's one of them situations. You feel me? I feel like when the Bulls documentary came out, Mike had to okay it. Mike okayed that shit because everybody sitting at home. He like, they're gonna have to watch it.
Straight up.
They're gonna have to see it. And it's for a generation of people who didn't see him. I had so many people, whether it was people that I work with, people that I know who 20 years old, who like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't know he was this good. To see him out there, to hear him talk, it's just gonna make him relevant again. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be relevant is always a good thing for basketball.
For sure.
So I think for him to get on there, I think it's more so about like, let me connect with people who don't know who I am. They might not know exactly who I am. What I think that Bulls documentary showed to some extent is how big of rock stars the Chicago Bulls really was in the 90s and the late 80s. And for people who don't really understand, it's impossible to make them. Like, telling somebody you don't know what it was like before cable television. Nah, I don't. I have no idea. I can't even fathom what it was like before cable television. Because all I know is cable. That's like me trying to tell them how VHS work. You know
Motherfuckers asking for the Wi-Fi. Motherfuckers asking for the Wi-Fi password. Boy, we ain't used to have none of that. Dial up. What you talking about?
Come on, man. Like, it's a whole different thing. So it's like, for people who didn't see it, it's impossible for them to understand. Mike came at a perfect time. He was the biggest star in the world because like technology literally hit a stride as he was becoming Michael Jordan. So like you got WGN. It's people all over the nation that know WGN. We know it because we from Chicago. It's motherfuckers who know WGN because of Michael Jordan. I don't know local TV stations in other states.
You hear me?
Know what I'm saying? They was playing WGN nationwide when the Bulls played. That was a nationally televised game. So it's like he became a star because it was the right time. Not only was he so phenomenal, but he just lightning struck. Lightning struck. So now people gonna be able to see it. And it was like, no matter how good another basketball player is, to be bigger than what Michael Jordan was, I find it hard to happen. I'm not saying impossible. I want to stay open-minded about the possibility of it can happen. I seen Jeremy Lin. That was fucking a phenomenon. I seen people like take over for short periods of times. So I'm not gonna say that it can't happen, but for what Michael Jordan was, it's gonna be really, really hard for somebody to beat it. Like having kids in Asia that don't know no English saying, I wanna be like Mike. Motherfucker don't know no other English words. Know what I'm saying? But they could sing that commercial. Like, it was so fucking different living during those times. And I was a shorty, but I knew this motherfucker is Black Jesus for real. Like, so it's gonna be good to see him. It's gonna be good to see him. Do you remember the Jordan cologne?
Boy, you know motherfuckers had that. Burlington special. Fuck you talking
Yeah,
about?
that shit stank, but motherfuckers was fucking with it just because it was Michael Jordan.
Indeed.
That's
Folks
what I'm
got
saying.
suits,
Like,
all type of shit. Sandals.
people
folks
never
got the
understand, bro.
folks
Like,
got the open toe chanclatas. He got whatever you need. Straight up.
Gee, it ain't nobody living right now who could just put something on and motherfuckers gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna wear that because he wore it.
You feel me?
Michael Jordan throw some shit on. I think I'm gonna look like him if I put that shit on.
You hear me? He got motherfuckers wearing hoop earrings, all type of shit, boy.
Look at all these bald head niggas. Where you think this shit came from? Have motherfuckers with the earrings, everything, boy. Look at these shoes. Look how long these shoes that stood the test of times.
Couldn't stop Mike, man.
Couldn't. It was just a phenomenon. Truly a phenomenon.
What I want to know is what they pitched the nigga. Like what how you call what you call and say what you how that phone call go? Or Mike you know what? Mike probably called them like, yo, I'm available. I'm here. I'm here.
Hit the line.
I'm here.
Hey, what you think that call was like when he told Jerry Crush, y'all paying me 31, 33?
Well, you know, Michael, you are putting asses in seats. Can you do 25?
We ain't giving Pippen nothing, so
can you do? G, you know what's crazy, bro? I'm on YouTube, boy. Fuck, you know this nigga Pippen was on the Mr. Submarine commercial, G. I swear to God, G. I'm gonna send this to the group chat. I say, damn, for how Mr. Submarine get enough bread to put folks in the commercial, G? Folks was out here like a sex worker, G. He took $250 for that bit. They gave his ass $250. Told his ass we gonna name a sandwich after you. Come on, do the commercial. G, it's wild. You gonna die when you see it, G. They gave folks $250. They say it ain't what the Bulls offer you, but we gonna give you a little piece of change.
For everybody who don't know what Mr. Submarine is, I live in Houston now. That's like one of these taco trucks. Having James Harden on the commercial for him.
Scotty did. They got down on Scotty, and they gave him 2 cheerleaders in that bitch too. And you gonna G, when you see it, you gonna die, G. You gonna fall the fuck out.
He wasn't never in no Mr. Submarine commercial.
I swear to God, G. I get the rolling instantly, like, oh yeah, folks. Scotty was out here bad, folks.
Fuck was out here selling that shit. Fuck you talking about?
I'm telling you, G. Folk probably had a line out west. We didn't even know nothing about it. He had motherfuckers out there doing hand to hand. Like, yeah, this Scotty shit. On the real, straight up. It's that Scott, this Scotty pack on my mama. 33.
It's that 33.
Hell no. Scotty, you over wild.
Yo, no. Folks out there doing anything. The real
anything.
NIL. The first OnlyFans. Fuck you talking about?
Straight up.
Hell no. But yeah, I think this is gonna be good for the world. It's gonna be good for a lot of young people that love basketball.
For sure.
It's crazy to me because like even looking at these finals right now, how people been bad mouthing it and all of that, and you look at the level of basketball, the level of coaching you seeing, and for people to not be watching these games and not respect it, it just confirmed what I already know, which is motherfuckers do not love basketball. Not the way that we grew up.
That's a bug, Jay, because y'all always talking about old heads and 90 basketball, but this is y'all generation's brand of basketball at its highest with our DNA of the defense and the games being physical. Both of these teams are that, even though it is a difference with the teams and how they portray it. But this is what basketball is with Indiana's high tempo and being able to put points on the board. OKC's ability to be able to put points on the board. On the other end of OKC, being able to have a ferocity to their defense to where they're able to actually blow opponents out, where Indiana has the freedom of movement of play where anybody can get it. They're never out of a game. I don't know how.
Nobody gonna lay down.
I don't know how nobody is. I don't know how you don't watch this.
No matter how big a lead is, nobody feel comfortable like the game over. This
for sure
ain't over until zeros on the clock. You know,
for sure
you gotta kill them to beat them. You know, like shooting them ain't enough, stabbing them ain't enough. Like these motherfuckers gonna keep coming like Jason. You see this shit live.
Showing how you mismatch hunt. Like, oh, y'all got Shea, he could do this. Oh, he might not be Shea, but we got Siakam. He could do the same thing.
What?
You feel me?
I got me one right here.
Come on. Yeah, this I don't know, man. I don't know.
Don't love hoops. I'm telling
you. Straight up.
It's simple. It's simple. Motherfuckers do not love hoops the way they say they do. And it's
straight
easy
up
to see. It's easy to see. So it's like for me, I love this finals. You know what I'm saying? The winner of this finals, people gonna look back and probably not get him credit, but I can't concern myself with what the world think. Like I know what it is. If you beat this Pacers team, this is a really, really good fucking team that you beat. You beat
really
this Oklahoma team, same deal. You beat this team, this is a really fucking good team that you beat. So whoever come out and get this championship, they deserve it. It's well earned, and it's great basketball that motherfuckers missing for real.
For sure. And sidebar before we get out of here, with this being exciting and the style of play fits the current gen of basketball, I expect to see more teams try to implement what Indiana does as far as a high tempo pace. And I just said all that to say, be on the lookout for those Bulls next year. Because if y'all noticed, the Bulls had a very similar style of play of Indiana towards the end of last year. We have a kind of similar team with pieces, with guards. We just need somebody to put it in motion. We have Alonzo. I'm not banking on him being healthy. But just a friendly reminder, keep an eye out on those Bulls next year, man. What you got, Cash?
I agree with that. And I think that people will more so try to emulate. I think that one of the big things that we're going to see come from this is the movement in free agency. All of these guys who just go up and leave and this didn't work, let me go to the next spot. I think it's a good chance Giannis stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, after seeing what this Indiana team did, and they don't have a true superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Halliburton. He's a really good player, but he's not a superstar. Like,
for sure.
They don't have a superstar. And they beat, and they slayed giants. They beat fucking Milwaukee. They got a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the biggest thing that I would say is their continuity. The fact that they had these players that's been playing with each other year after year after year, that they learn, like, this is how my guy plays. I know how he plays. Let's go ahead and get in the trenches together.
For sure.
I think we're going to start seeing more of that. So kudos to the league. I think OKC finna go ahead and close him out in Game 6. If not for sure in Game 7, but I think they close him out in Game 6. They have the best shot at maybe becoming the next NBA dynasty. But I'm just not going to throw that word around because I thought Boston had the potential to do it. And injury, a bad matchup, blowing a couple leads, and then it's all over. So it's like it can change that fast. That window could close that fast. The fortune of your team could change that fast. So I'm going to hold down on that. Right now, we in the time of NBA parity. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people prefer to see dynasties. I don't care about either one. I'm cool with either one. I like dynasties, but I also like to see where we go into a season and we don't know who's going to win.
For sure. And a quick hitter before we get up out of here. Be me knowing how you feel about KD and me knowing how you feel about Wemby and the Spurs. With KD saying that's one of his destinations. How you think that outcome would be with KD over there with the Spurs?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like it. As a fan of Wembanyama, as a fan of Kevin Durant, those are my two favorite players. Way before. Not when they got hot, been my favorite players. Like, before motherfuckers knew about them. For both of those guys. They so similar that when it comes to team construction, number one, when KD say he want to go somewhere, that's probably not the place that he want to go. He's like the worst guy at building a team and knowing the pieces that he need around him. KD likes skill, similar type players, but that's not how you build a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you got that super skill player, you need dirty work players. You need physical players. You need strong. You need athleticism. You need other things to help build out a roster. KD and Wemby are super similar players. They're going to need some real, and not that their mentality is not dog-like, but like physically imposing players around them. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have that. You cannot, you look at that Boston series against the Nets when the Nets got swept. They got swept, right? Or they lost in 5. No, they got swept.
You talking about the following year after the toe shot?
Yeah, with Kyrie and him. They got swept, right?
Yeah.
Just missed jump shots. Niggas who knock down shots all the time, getting to their spots and literally just missing them shots. It's hard to win playoff games as jump shooters. Wemby a jump shooter. KD a jump shooter. Like, it's tough for me to see that working unless they build out the roster around them. I like De'Aaron Fox. If he go there, of course I'm a root for him, but it's not my preferred destination for him. The caveat that I will give is this will help Wemby in his career.
For sure.
If he get to play next to a Kevin Durant and see how he practice, see how he do everything at full speed, see how he think about the game, see how much he loved the game. That's the one thing. Nobody that ever been around Kevin Durant don't leave him saying, hey, this dude truly loves basketball. That's all he do. Eat, sleep, shit, basketball. This nigga know college players, high school players, niggas in the G League, overseas. Like, he watch hoops, YouTubers. He loved basketball. So I think that for Wemby, you see him out there in China. You see him constantly trying to, like, broaden his horizons as a guy that came from France. You see him, the way he's in touch with community and just going and talking to regular people and not seeing himself as high and mighty and above people. He seems like he has a growth mentality and he's constantly trying to learn as much as he can. KD would be perfect for his maturity. So I wouldn't mind that at all. I just will halt the brakes on if he go there and people say, oh, they're a title contender right away. I think they'll be missing some pieces. They need to add some toughness and some super physical players around them guys, and then they could possibly be a title contender.
For sure. For sure.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in to the World's Outstanding Casuals show where we trade and exchange ideas and information. We don't pretend to know everything. Normalize being able to say you don't know. If you don't know something, hey, I don't know. Let me sit here and listen and learn. I'm Cash. I'm here with Slick, and we out.
Yeah.